Spiritual communication, okay? What is spiritual communication? It's the inner voice, okay? Understanding the inner voice. So, we're going to draw a picture of somebody's brain, basically the mind. And I put a circle basically with the inner voice, what you hear inside of your mind. And how it works is you have ears, okay? And this noise will enter from outside sources. So you'll have an output of an output voice. It could be a friend, a family member, a stranger, somebody in the community has sent an output to you, an output of information. And you're going to receive it as a voice, and it's going into your mind. And this mind of yours now has to process information. So it's forced to work. We're going to put Intel. Process Intel. Spelling's not all that great because the marker is just, I didn't draw it right with the marker. I'd have to erase it. So what we have here so far is spiritual communication, the output voice, which is a character like a friend, family member, or a stranger, communicating with you and sending you a message to your inner voice. Your inner voice has to understand it, process it, and file it all at the same time while still communicating externally, as the external communication is externally communicating. Don't know if I entirely spelled externally correctly, but it's close enough. Externally communicating with the output source. So this is an output source. It's a source of energy. That is communicating with you, and it's an output source. Now he's going to be intaking from your external communication. He's going to be intaking an input from you. So now he's receiving an input, because you're getting ready to input some information into the character. Okay? So the two-way system is working as the family member, the stranger, or the friends in the community that you're speaking with has what they call the output. Okay? They are the output characters. They're going to output information, and this is called trading. Okay? It's called trading. And what are you trading for? Data. You want to get information. Okay? That's the key word here of the day. Data. It's the first basis to DNA. This is how you begin to network. Okay? Now that's the next key. So when you're trading data, you're looking to trade data through the networking system of the physical structure of the vessel. Okay? Because you can't network any other way unless you're inside this physical body yet. We don't know what other ways of communication there is besides spiritual communication, which is the spiritual body communicates with the physical body to manifest physically. So we're going to talk about networking as well. Networking is connected to communication. And just so you know, I'm not faking these videos. I did it on the go. So you can see me doing it on the go, speaking about it, talking about it, understanding that I have the know-how and the know-how to the understanding of what I'm talking about. So we're networking. And we're building this web, a webinar, okay? It's a web system of multiple people that you have in your networking system, and you're gathering all of this information from this networking system. Okay? And it's through the trading of the data that you get to the network. Okay? The network is the next key. This is going to be the input and the outbound. Okay? Totally messed that up. Bear with me. Okay, so we got input and output of communication through the networking system. And as you're communicating and trading data through networking with a community or a group of people, you will begin to get these algorithm codings, these algorithm codes that will start to download and manifest into your life, depending on when you activate the code. So you can intake this input information and never activate the code till 5 years later, and then you start a business. But you gathered this data by trading it for 5 years. Let's say you traded for 5 years. You had nothing, you couldn't figure out what you were doing with the data. 5 years of networking went by, where you were gathering more and more data on this business idea that you had. And then all of a sudden it manifests itself. Because you had the algorithm codes and you finally started to download them, enough of them to where they were starting to sync, okay, together. And they were starting to interlock with each other. They were starting to open up certain parts of the DNA, which is keys, okay? And that's the next clue. Finding the keys within the realm. Finding the keys within the realm of the communication, okay? Because you're looking for clues and you're looking for keys. Here's what I wrote. I'll tell you a little bit about it. Finding keys to life's intel, okay? You want to find the keys inside of the realm of networking by trading data. When you trade this data, you'll get the keys you need for your own life to get the intel you needed to start your own business. And you must continue over a lifetime of networking to keep this business running. And it's based on these algorithm codes will come in from the networking system, and they'll interlock with each other and communicate with each other through the algorithm of coding from the trading of the data, that this will all manifest internally from the spirit, the inner voice. Because the inner voice had popped an idea in his mind about a business idea. God received the business idea because You have to first have a belief in a higher power, God, a creator, something that created you. And then God would send these messages telepathically or through telepathy. And you will receive this as an incoming message, inbound message coming in. You must decipher it, go through it, break down the parables, because they're coming as a parable. He usually hits you with a parable. And decipher the code of the parable over weeks, days, months, hours, depending on how long it takes you. When you unlock it, you'll be accessing all the information that he had just sent in his message. Now it may take you a couple days to go through it. It may take you months. Depends on how much information he sent. Will be determined on what you were seeking and what was available at the time to give to you based on how much did you know. Spiritual communication does exist. Exists beyond the physical plane. It works best through telepathy. It's the easiest way to get you a message. So telepathy is actually a spiritual gift, and that's what I want to talk about next. Developing telepathy is spiritual. So the next key to understanding life, telepathy is spirit. Telepathy is spirit. It's not physical. You're not externally sending your voice off and you're just going, he can hear it. Of course you can hear it. You're talking about telepathy where the inner voice cannot hear the other person's inner voice. Right? But telepathy allows you to hear it. It allows you to step into their mind. And God would have to have this gift. Okay? And so would you. To communicate back with God. Because you're communicating back with God and you're waiting for him to respond and send you back a message. He's pretty far away, so it does take a little bit for the message to be received. But when you do receive the message, when he's got a lot of people he's got to talk to, okay? You're not the only one he's got to send a message to. He's got these people, he's got so many people that he has to send messages to. You can't be number one on the list every time you send him a message. So do expect a phone call back, but do not expect it back right away. That's why I say you shall be patient and wait, because he's busy. He's got to take care of things. Life is going on, okay? And I just wanted to give you this basic diagram. And we'll go back into more detail at another time. I don't want to waste up too much of your time. You might have something more important, more that you got to get back to. But I definitely want to talk about the inner voice and how life is spirit. So you are spirit. And I want to explain that before we get off this channel, that you are spirit. You must go back to spirit and manifest from the spirit. Even though you're playing a physical life out, you're in an avatar. Your main source of energy, where you originated from, was spirit. You're only in that physical body because you got offered a job to arrive here from the spirit, to enter this physical world and uplift it in the light of the world. And that's why you're supposed to be the light. And I call it the lighthouse. Okay? Final piece, before we close it up, is the lighthouse. You're a house of energy, and you're supposed to be a light. Okay? You're a house of energy. You live in a house. It's where your spirit lives. It lives in a house. And you're supposed to be the light.